What's up, guys? Matt Brown here for playpicks.com and thelines.com, joined by the editor-in-chief, the grand poobah, the man in charge, Brett Colson over there at thelines.com, at playpicks.com. Brett, we have a fun Thanksgiving Day slate in front of us, a day that everybody that is in legal jurisdictions is going to take place in betting because they have nothing better to do on a Thursday, and this is going to be a lot of action, a lot of handle, and a lot of people weighing in with horrible takes on the Twitter machine.
And it is an extra special Thanksgiving Day because the Bills are playing for like the first time maybe ever. I don't remember the Bills ever playing on Thanksgiving before. It's a very exciting time here in Buffalo right now.
Stop what you're doing right now if you are looking to sign up for an account in any of the states that are legal. Be sure and take advantage of what we have going on over at the Lines and at PlayPicks. The sites are running all kinds of crazy promotional deals, so be sure and head over there and click on one of those and take advantage of those because it's free money, it's free bets, it's match offers, it's all kinds of things like that. So they're going to give it to you. You might as well take it, you know?
Absolutely. DFS too, DraftKings, FanDuel, a lot more states that offer DFS than sports betting right now. So take advantage wherever you can. Absolutely.
You can see on your screen right now, this is the Thanksgiving Day betting guide at the Line. So you can come over here and take a look and see how that looks. And of course at PlayPicks, a free write-up by Nate Weitzer over there as well. So you can take a look at the games here. Of course, everything at the Lines and PlayPicks is free. So let's go ahead and take a look at these betting odds here, Brett. Up on the screen right now, I have the DraftKings Sportsbook, and we'll also look at FanDuel Sportsbook as well. FanDuel so smart in making the Thanksgiving Day tab here, not making it very easy for everyone to find what they are looking for. We'll start here at FanDuel since we are here. We're looking at the Lions as 3-point home dogs over here at FanDuel, the Cowboys 6.5-point home favorites, and the Falcons 6.5 home favorites in this one. Over here, same deal across the board at DraftKings. So let's kick things off here with this Bears and Lions game, Brett. Of course, the real big thing we're going to have to be monitoring. Guys, we are recording this on Tuesday. We wanted to get it to you early. We know you're going to be traveling. We understand a lot of stuff going to be going on Thursday, Thanksgiving Day itself. So we wanted to get this to you early. The only drawback to that, Brett, is that we don't have the full injury reports and we don't really know how things all broke down on Tuesday and Wednesday. And so with that, we sit right now not really knowing who's going to be quarterbacking the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, not only that, but who's playing defense for the Lions this week too? This is the ugliest game of the week, but it's also the most interesting market spot, I think. With the Lions opened at -1.5 last week at FanDuel, and it has moved all the way to Chicago -3 as of this afternoon. If you look at that opening number from last week and you want to believe that there might be some line value, I would advise to take a step back and look at the bigger picture here because there are several factors to consider. I mean, one is that this Lions defense is an infirmary. Several starters did not play last week. Deshaun Hand, Trey Flowers, Rashawn Melvin among them, and then Snacks Harrison got hurt on Sunday. So we don't have any practice data available yet, but it's hard to anticipate any or most of these guys coming right back here on the super short week. And this is the shortest week of the year with it taking place Thursday afternoon. And two, like you said, who's playing quarterback? Like,
yeah, that's the big issue here, right? I mean, we're looking at Driscoll with a hamstring injury, and this is more significant for Jeff Driscoll than I think for a lot of quarterbacks out there, you know, not named Russell Wilson and Lamar Jackson, because Jeff Driscoll relies so much on his legs and his elusiveness and being able to move around in order to kind of extend plays and whatnot. And so, Brett, we would be looking at David Blau, who would take over if Driscoll's not able to go. We're talking about a 24-year-old undrafted free agent out of Purdue. That is about all the information that I can give you guys on him because I don't know any more about him.
Yeah, and we watch college football, right?
Right.
I have very little recollection of this guy from his college days, and so I have almost no read on like the difference between a Driscoll and a Blau. So what do we make of that as far as like a line move from one quarterback to another, a backup quarterback to a third string quarterback? Very difficult to say at this point.
Yeah, it is really difficult here. So I mean, let's just go at this with, let's just pretend Driscoll is going to play, and we'll kind of talk through it that way. And then we can give just a couple of thoughts at the end on if we don't think that he's going to play here. My initial thoughts here is, look, we still have a pretty good Bears defense and a putrid offense from the Bears side of the ball. On the Lions side here, we actually have a bad defense on their side and at least a serviceable offense we've seen, certainly when Matt Stafford was under center. And Jeff Driscoll has actually held his own here. I mean, he's got some playmakers, certainly at the wide receiver position for him as well. The problem here, I think, whenever we kind of try to break down this game here, is how is Driscoll going to be able to stand up to what the Chicago Bears defense is going to bring at him?
Yeah, that is a concern, and this unit blocking for Driscoll or Blau is not great. So I guess the one thing you can look at is motivational factors here. What are the Bears? Are the Bears going to bring everything they have, given that they're likely already out of this playoff race? Are they going to show up on a Thursday afternoon with the travel and everything else? So I don't know. This is a really tough game to cap. I definitely want to dig into it, though. I'm excited to dig into this because I think there might be some value. I just don't know where it is yet because we don't know who's playing.
We're looking here. I mean, I think it's because the Bears just aren't very good this year, but I mean, we're still looking at number 6 overall defense DVOA, number 7th against the pass, number 12 against the rush. And then over on Pro Football Focus, I mean, they kind of agree here. We're looking at the number 8 overall defense from Pro Football Focus, and then up at number 6 when it comes to rush defense, and then their tackling is still up there inside of the top 5 according to Pro Football Focus. So I mean, this Bears defense I think just isn't getting quite the love that it got last year because the offense is so bad, and the team, as you mentioned, has kind of fallen out of the playoff race here, which has maybe taken a little bit of the shine off of what is still a really good defense.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you want to tackle it from that angle, maybe the under is the way to go. Although it's really hard to say. I mean, if we do get David Blau, are the Bears able to force turnovers and opportunities to get good field position by forcing turnovers and sacks and whatever else? It's hard to say at this point because we don't know who's playing quarterback. But I agree. This Bears defense has kind of flown under the radar because they're not winning football games.
I'm going to give my lean here, and this is strictly based off of, and this is off of whoever plays quarterback for the Lions just in general. I do have a pretty strong lean to the under in this, even at 38.5. And if you guys are looking on the screen right here, you can see some other people are with me on that, as it has fallen to 37.5 over at FanDuel. So you can actually get an entire point higher over on DraftKings if you are looking to play the under over there. And I mean, I just look at this Bears offense, completely anemic with Mitch Trubisky at quarterback here. Nothing really at all is highlighting this offense other than Allen Robinson, who's had a couple of good games so far this year. And then even if you look at the Lions side, Brett, I mean, even with Driscoll, they haven't really lit up the scoreboard by any stretch of the imagination. And if we get Blau, which it looks like they were going out and trying to at least find another quarterback they could get on the roster, which leads me to believe that maybe Driscoll's in a worse situation than we even thought. And if that's the case, I don't know how he really moves the ball on this Bears team really at all here. So just kind of giving what we know here on a Tuesday morning, I'm going to go ahead and say that I lean to the under here with the Bears.
Yeah, that's totally fair. And if we do get Driscoll, it does change things because there are playmakers here on this Lions team. And I think there is a path for the Bears to score points against whatever this Lions defense is too. So this is kind of like, I think, wait until Wednesday and see what the practice reports look like on Tuesday and kind of go from there.
All right, so let's take a look here at the second game on the agenda, and that is the Dallas Cowboys and the Buffalo Bills here. If you guys take a look at this line, we have the Dallas Cowboys 6.5 point home favorites. That is getting a little bit of juice at DraftKings and a little bit of juice over at FanDuel. We could definitely see this thing move to a touchdown. And Brett, I mean, listen, this is probably going to draw the majority of the handle on the day because this is the center game. This is the game where everybody is sitting down together, watching the TV after they've had their lunch and their big feast and all of that. And so this one's going to draw all of the attention here. And then on top of that, we are talking about the Dallas Cowboys, right? We're talking about one of the biggest public teams out there. We're talking about, a team that everybody wants to take a look at here. So I think the first bit of advice is no matter how you and I are leaning, we can say to the viewers out there that if you want the Bills, I would just hold out because this thing is going to get to 7.
Yeah, we think so, right? I haven't seen where the money is coming in early, but it doesn't really matter because, I mean, most of the money's going to come in Wednesday, early Thursday morning. So you're probably right, being the Dallas is a public team, although they have not been great to the public this year. And you know who has been great with the public this year is the Buffalo Bills. So it's going to be interesting to see where the money does come in on this game.
Yeah, juiced a little bit to the 7 here. So maybe as that money continues to roll in, we're looking at a 45.5 total here. And this is kind of where I want to start with you before we really start to break down this game. This total sitting at 45.5. I mean, look, we have talked about this Bills defense a few different times on our podcasts, and I'm glad to have you on the video here with me to talk about this as well. This Bills defense, I think a lot of people are living off of years past in thinking that this Bills defense is still super elite. Now, it is a good defense. There's no doubt about it, but it is not like it is this impenetrable force or anything. And of course, we know the Cowboys have a ton of playmakers.
Yeah, and I think we're thinking along the same lines here. I mean, a lot is made of this Bills defense, like you said, and they are very good, but they're very good at home, and they have not faced an offense anything like this one all season. And being on the road presents a tough challenge for this unit. I like Josh Allen on the other side to put up some points in a favorable offensive environment. And of course, let's not gloss over the Cole Beasley revenge narrative here as well. Not that really matters, but I think there's going to be some points in this game.
Yeah, I mean, look, this Bills defense here, much better against the pass than the run, down at 26th DVOA against the run. And when you kind of take a look at that, what does this Cowboys team want to do? They want to feed Zeke. I imagine that he is able to have some success, which leads to them being able to take some shots down the field and have some success with those big play receivers that they have in Amari Cooper and Michael Gallup. And, of course, you still have Randall Cobb across the middle there. So for me, Brett, I am looking here at unlike the other one where I'm looking at the under. I actually think the over here is a pretty strong play. I think Josh Allen has some success here moving the ball. I mean, look, he's going to, and he's also good, as you well know, for a turnover or two a game, which could create a short field for this Cowboys team as well. I think there's going to be points in this game. I think both of these defenses are still living off of, in people's minds, off of what they've been in years past as opposed to what they are present day. And I'm pretty confident in some points being scored in this thing.
Yeah, I'm with you. How do we feel about, is there a side you're leaning here? Because I do have a pretty strong lean on a side.
I'll tell you this, if this thing makes it all the way through, and I can't say this for sure, I'm just speculating. If this thing were to make it all the way through the 7, if the Bills got me to a 7 and a hook, I would lean the Bills side then at that point here. Mm-hmm. If not, I know that we were talking with Fairway Jay a little bit earlier, and he doesn't have a lot of confidence in the Cowboys here, but this is a pretty prime teaser opportunity to get this thing down to basically a pick here. And you take that 6 points down to a pick, and you pair that up with maybe this next game we're talking about, or even back up at the Lions should Driscoll go for them. I think you could have yourself a nice little Turkey Day teaser here. So that's, if I'm playing the side, that's how I'm looking at it.
Yeah, totally fair. I actually like the spread here for the Cowboys. I've been up and down on this Bills team. I saw last week as an opportunity to sell high, and they handled their damn business at home against Brandon Allen in those lousy weather conditions. But this is a very different spot. The Broncos were not able to exploit that main weakness in this Bills defense last week, which is the run, because the Bills could afford to push up and make Brandon Allen beat them, and he could not throw the ball 15 yards without floating it out of bounds. So now, traveling to Dallas to face one of the league's top-ranked pass offenses and that formidable running game, I see the Bills running into some problems here.
And if you guys are looking on the screen here, I was looking to see if any of the player props have been listed yet. We don't have any of the player props listed. That being said, I wanted to take a look at, we do have a few listed over here at FanDuel, but we don't have any of the Zeke props up yet. That was what I was mostly interested in, Brett, is to see if there was any Zeke props that were up yet, because I think those could be pretty interesting. We know the Cowboys want to feature him. We know that they want to get the ball in his hands. And then now, if you aren't dunces, the way to do that is, the way to attack this Bills team is on the ground with a guy like Zeke here and use that big offensive line of yours. When they come out, guys, just use your best judgment if something seems a little bit low, a little bit off. But I'm certainly going to be paying attention to Zeke props as well. Speaking
of low, if you are going to play DFS, as we talked about earlier, Zeke is way underpriced on DraftKings. I don't know what that price is. He will be in all of my lineups because I think there's opportunity for him here against a leaky run defense that is just way over. And just people just don't. I don't think people really truly understand how bad this Bills run defense is. But this could be a really really big game for Zeke, and he's just way underpriced in DFS this week.
So be sure and get him in your lineups there. Don't get cute. And then also when these props hit for him at the sites out there, be sure and take a look. If anything seems a little off, go ahead and hit that over, because there's a chance this Cowboys team, this could be one of those big days for Zeke here. So, take a look at those for sure. And the final game here, we're going to talk about the Saints and the Falcons, our final Turkey Day game here. You can see the lines. I'm on DraftKings sitting at 6.5 point favorites on the road at the Falcons. Of course, that's getting a little bit of juice here, minus 114 at DraftKings. 49 is the total over on FanDuel. I will get back to the Turkey Day slate here, and there it is, 6.5. Getting a little bit of juice over here as well, as you can see with this Saints team. 48.5 is the total there. So a half point less over there over on FanDuel. And of course, this one, Brett, I don't know, but we're getting juiced at the 6.5. So maybe this one's heading to 7 as well.
Probably, given that the Falcons were a bit of a public team last week and fell flat on their face. So I could see the public shifting off of them and to the Saints, especially with a lot of casual money coming in, more than usual probably this week on a Thursday. I can definitely see this getting to 7.
So let's take a look here. Everybody knows what happened the last time that these two teams got together, because it's pretty much fresh on their mind. It was the Saints at home coming off of a bye, playing this Falcons team that was also coming off of a bye. They were double-digit favorites, and then they got boat raced, and it was the most odd, probably the strangest game of the 2019 NFL season. I think you and I even said as much, that it was just the strangest game of the 2019 season. The Saints have bounced back, of course, since that game, have looked pretty good moving forward. And this Atlanta Falcons team, as we thought that it was a little bit of smoke and mirrors that were going on, and that got showed this past week as well, where they lose outright to a Bucs team and actually struggle not only on the defensive side, but on the offensive side as well, which is the strangest thing, because the Bucs team is the team that you can throw all over, giving up giving up more than 310 yards a game through the air. You have weapons such as Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, and Russell Gage, and you can't get anything going there. Maybe they're missing Austin Hooper even more than we think, and that's where we should go ahead and start here. Austin Hooper and Devonta Freeman will be out for this game.
Yeah, and Julio Jones questionable. We imagine he probably will play, but that's definitely another one worth keeping an eye on, because if they're without those three guys, this could fly past 7.
Right. So this is, if you like the Saints a little bit anyway, so if you're kind of leaning towards Saints, it's not going to get any better for you, and it's only going to get way worse. So our advice here certainly would be take the Saints now at 6.5, because as Brett just mentioned, should any of this injury news go adversely against this Falcons team, the number is going to blast through 7. So you are probably sitting on the best you are ever going to get right this second, Brett. I can't imagine this thing goes any lower than 6.5. And if anything, like you mentioned, it's definitely going to go the other way.
Yeah, it's super interesting. Just looking at it from a numbers standpoint, the spread on this game in New Orleans a few weeks ago was 14. This is 6.5 right now, which if you move to New Orleans would be 12.5. So that's a 1.5 difference from before the Falcons beat the Saints on their home turf. The question you have to ask is, are the Falcons better than that point, or the Saints worse? Or should you look at this as an opportunity to buy low on a Saints team that is just shy of the key number and has far more motivation, obviously, to perform in this game? This feels like it could just be a sleepy spot for the Falcons on a short week, even though they are at home. You have to give the preparation and coaching advantage to the Saints, obviously, too. So, I think I would lean Saints in a bit of a revenge spot after what happened a few weeks ago.
In this Saints defense, I think one thing to point out here is a little bit better than I think people realize. We're talking about the number 8 overall defense DVOA, 11th against the pass, and 7th against the run. So have certainly been pretty stout here, where the first like 3 weeks of the year, we were like, oh, wow, is this Saints team going to have this horrible defense? And basically they're going to have to outscore everyone all season long. And whatever it was, this team really started to glue and came together and is looking really, really good here. This total sits at 49. And Brett, I guess a lot of this comes down to if you want to speculate, because if for whatever reason Julio Jones does not play in this game, I would be all over the under in this game. But of course, we would have to do the speculating now because we're not going to get that official injury report from them until 90 minutes before kickoff. So you're going to have to, if you want to go that route, I think that certainly if you want to gamble, the under would be the play.
Yeah, I think so too. And even if he does play, he's not going to be 100%. Marshawn Lattimore looks like limited in practice on Tuesday, questionable. If he returns, that adds even more problems for that Atlanta offense. So, yeah, I think we're on the same page here. Yeah,
and it looks like in this Atlanta defense, I mean, just absolutely putrid. Michael Thomas, just to throw in a little bit more DFS here for people. Brett, I think you just lock button Michael Thomas and just understand he's going to be, 80% owned, but he is about as a sure thing as you can possibly get at the wide receiver position in all of football. It doesn't even matter. That one game we're talking about, actually, where the Saints laid a complete egg against this Falcons team, Michael Thomas still had double-digit catches and over 100 yards. I mean, it's almost about, the reason we in DFS we play these running backs and covet them so much is because it's just guaranteed touches, and the guaranteed touches at least give you a sense of that at least there's a floor for these guys. But as far as wide receivers go, I don't know if we've ever seen a guy that has the type of floor that Michael Thomas has.
Yeah, and the usage with him is almost an extension of the run game because they throw short to him so often that he just compiles these receptions. And in a full point per reception format, like a DraftKings, the guy is just a monster. So yeah, that's just a click and play on Thursday in a 3-game slate. Thomas is going to have a big game. He's just going to. There's no other way around it. How are they going to stop this guy?
As you guys see on the screen, I just clicked on FanDuel. They actually do have a lot of the props up over here, Brett, and they have set Drew Brees at 308.5 yards for passing.
Wow. Well then.
That is a lot of yards. The passing touchdowns is set at 1.5, as it always is. Paying a lot of juice to hit the over for Drew Brees there, but depending on the size of your bankroll, Drew Brees is going to throw for 2 touchdowns in this game, Brett.
Yeah, he probably will. I'm looking at his game logs here to see. He's thrown for 300 plus several times this year. Against Atlanta, 287 last time. And that was they scored 9 points in that game.
Right.
So they scored some points in this game. He's likely to go over 300. Probably. That's a lot of yards, though. I don't know about that one.
It is a lot of yards. I think I like the passing touchdowns over a little bit more. The only problem is it's juiced to hell over here. So maybe wait till that one hits over at DraftKings and try to get it involved over there first. They don't have their player props up quite yet, so just monitor over there on DraftKings for sure. But as far as how I'm going to be playing this slate overall, you guys know how I go. You've been watching this channel. Thank you for watching the channel. Also, while you're here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, please. We really appreciate you guys hitting the subscribe button, and also hit the thumbs up button on the video, and let us know in the comments how you're playing the games throughout the course of the day on Thursday. I play teasers, guys, and especially when the teasers present themselves on a silver platter to me. And when you look at bringing this Saints team and this Cowboys team down to basically a pick 'em here, that just screams to me ideal situation for a teaser player like me. So I'll probably be all over this Cowboys team and this Saints team, tease down to basically a pick 'em at a 0.5 point here. And I'll feel pretty good and pretty happy about that. The Lions game, there's too much up in the air for me right now for me to make a play on the side. Brett, I think you kind of feel the same way. However, I think we both feel a little bit more comfortable in that one should Driscoll be under center.
For sure. That is when I'm going to wait until Wednesday, maybe even Thursday morning to see what is going on with these Detroit actives, inactives. That's going to matter a lot. And it really impacts everything, the total as well.
Right.
Just if Flowers and Hand and Melvin and Harrison are all out, why can't Chicago just score 30 points?
Right.
And that sounds crazy to say, but it could happen. So, yeah, that's going to depend a lot on what's going on with that Detroit injury report. But, yeah, I definitely lean Dallas. I love them at 6.5. And I lean to the Saints, too. I mean, I'm eating all these favorites in the points, but I just see both of these teams in good spots this week.
And worth mentioning, as you did in that top one, all 3 games are dome games, so no weather concerns whatsoever. Right. On Thursday. So all 3. So don't worry about wind or rain or sleet or snow or any of that stuff. You're not going to have to worry about any of that. All 3 are dome games. So will be ideal weather conditions and ideal scoring conditions as well. So we will keep that in play as well, guys. As always, free everything over at PlayPicks, free everything over at the line. So please head over there and take a look at everything we've got to offer. The guys do a real good job breaking down these games. So be sure and take a look at everything that's going on over there and take advantage of these Thanksgiving Day promotions that the sites are putting out, whether it's DFS, whether it's sports betting, whether it's whatever. Take their free money, guys. Take their money. They're giving it to you. They're giving you these free offers and free bets and match bets and all these things. So just take it from them while they are allowing you to have it. And again, please hit the subscribe button on this channel. We appreciate you guys helping us grow this thing. And like the video and let us know how you are playing this game down in the comment section below. And you know what, Brett? I'm going to go ahead and do this. Give us the exact scores in all 3 games. If you happen to do that, I will send you a $250 Amazon gift card. So for example, you have to say Bears 17, Lions 10, Bills 21, Cowboys 17, and Saints 54, Falcons 74, whatever. You have to give me the exact scores. If you get all 3 of them right, I'll send you a $250 Amazon gift card. So be sure and leave that down in the comments below as well. For Brett, I am Matt. Have a great Thanksgiving, guys, and we'll see you back here for Sunday Night Football.